Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the podcast where we would like to congratulate Renee Paquette and John Moxley on the birth of their child. We reached out to Mox and for some comments, and he said,
"It's such good shit."
Yeah, it's lost in the Midcard. Here we are. We got lots to talk about, a shitload to talk about. Holy cow. We got NXT Takeover. We got Against All Odds from Impact. Those all happened this weekend, last weekend. This weekend is Hell in a Cell, typical WWE fashion. We've not booked the pay-per-view yet. There's only 5 matches announced officially, though it may be only a 6-match card possibly.
I was going to say, I wouldn't be surprised if there's only 6 or 7 matches total on that show on Sunday.
Yeah,
especially with that 8 o'clock start time.
Yeah, with Hell in a Cell matches usually going longer. We got some headlines to talk about. We a hell of a week for NXT. We'll cover the big NXT show from last night as well. The rest of television, a little bit of headlines, not a ton of headlines this week, but we'll cover any pertinent ones, and then we'll ride off with our predictions for the show this Sunday. So first, thank you to SpiderDuck.net for being our host, enabling us to be on iTunes, Spotify, any of your favorite podcasting apps. All you got to do is search for Lost the Midcard, hit that subscribe button. That way you know every time a new episode comes your way. And we're also on video with YouTube. I'd like to thank a few people that have subscribed to us. Please keep subscribing to YouTube. Give us the thumbs up. Hit the bell icon. That way you know every time a new episode comes your way as well. The links to everything on our shiny new compact site, thanks to Mark Cho, litmcpodcast.com, where you can see everything, including our Twitter handles, because I am your host, Jeremy Bennett. You can find me on the Twitter at Raw F Showtime, or JB. Jesus. Yeah, I took over Matt's Twitter. Hello. I just woke up. Sorry. You can find me on the Twitter at JB Huskers. As always, my co-host, he is on the Twitter at Raw F Showtime. It is Mr. Matt Black, who now no longer has a Twitter. Matt, how you doing?
I'd probably be better off if I didn't have a Twitter, to be perfectly honest with you.
I'm going to tweet as Matt Black tonight.
I'm all right. I'm sitting here stunned over how fucking terrible the Philadelphia 76ers defense is, who epically collapsed 2 fucking games in a row. I'm sure Daryl is not happy, but
probably not.
Fucking trash. So he's just gonna have to deal with it.
And it's over now, so they're down to elimination against the Hawks, huh?
Yeah, I don't see them going to Atlanta and winning Game 6. I just don't. I think this series is done. So peace.
Stick a fork in them. They're done.
I think the fork has been stuck.
DUNN.
I was originally saying 6ers and 5. And honestly, if they would actually play defense in the second half of games 4 and 5, I would have been correct. But now I think it's going to be, I think Hawks are taking in 6. I think it's done. And that really sucks because that means if Brooklyn beats the Bucks, I don't see anybody stopping Brooklyn from getting to the damn finals. And I hate that with every fiber of my being.
Well, the Jazz are probably moving on with Kawhi Leonard tearing his ACL. So Suns are red hot.
That's gonna be one of the lamest NBA finals ever.
Suns are red hot, but shit, I wonder if the layoff, they're gonna have a little layoff now as they wait for everybody to shake out.
Apparently Chris Paul's in COVID protocol.
Yep.
So what the hell's going on with the NBA right now? The Lakers exit out of the first round and the entire playoffs go to shit.
I don't know.
You can't have a playoff without LeBron James.
Oh, you could. Trust
me. You're having it right now. Look how terrible it is.
Terrible
shit.
Chuck can't talk about the women in San Antonio anymore either. TNT edict to Charles Barkley. Poor Charles. NXT Takeover in your house from the CWC this past Sunday. We kick off with Todd Pettengill. We had an intro from Doc Hendricks. We kick off with a little music from a lady named Naomi Fox and Todd Pettengill on the stage. Tell you what, man, Todd knocked it out of the park on Sunday night, didn't he, Matt?
Dude, Todd is Todd, man. It's like he didn't miss a beat. He's
everything he did.
Very entertaining. I can't even begin to tell you how much I popped for the karate fighters.
Yeah.
Just good shit all around. The VCR tape, and just.
I don't know if we'll get to it, but Todd did. He did speak with. I think it was somebody in the UK. I can't remember who they are now, but he
Alistair McGeorge.
He said that he's open to working more with NXT. He doesn't have his show anymore, so his calendar's a lot wide open. So, and it's pretty much universal acclaim of the work that Todd did. Just looking at the Twitter universe. So, yeah, I mean, bring him back, man. Come on. Every once in a while, it'd be great. We kick things off 6-man tag, winner take all, with the tag titles and the North American title up for grabs. Bronson Reed and MSK taking on Legado del Fantasma. Really, it really seems like I think you might have mentioned it a long time ago, but yeah, it really seems like MSK is losing their favor with the NXT universe, doesn't it? You get some people that are not really fans anymore.
I think it's a fact of the matter is I think they got too much too soon.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of the NXT faithful are like, well, what about our guys?
Yeah.
That have been here for years and haven't gotten shit. These guys have been here for 3 months and they're already holding the tag titles. And I think that rubs some people in the NXT fan base the wrong way. But there was no way they could. There was no way they could have taken the title off Bronson Reed already.
No.
So like there was really no doubt. Like this match was never in doubt from the beginning.
No.
I mean, it was a fine way to start the show. But it was fine.
Yeah, I thought it was a pretty good match, pretty good opener. A lot of action in there. Bronson Reed completely destroying Santos Escobar.
And for the love of God, that man does not deserve another title shot.
No.
He lost the fucking Cruiserweight title. He lost the Cruiserweight title rematch. He just lost this North American title shot. Why the fuck is he on NXT Tuesday saying he's going to fight Bronson Reed for the North American title? Win some fucking matches, shithead. Like, what the hell?
Yeah. Todd Pettengill trying to queue up a videotape and a TV VCR combo, and Mackenzie Mitchell showed up and he called her Stephanie. Whoops. What was her name? Stephanie Powell? Was that right? You remember, Matt?
What?
Stephanie, when Todd called Mackenzie Stephanie from back in the day. What was her name?
I don't remember.
I think it was Powell. And she said that the truck can play clips digitally now. And he goes, "Oh, you mean they have RCA cables?" Todd living in the 90s. Mercedes Martinez taking on Xia Li. Pretty quick match, but I thought it was a pretty good match between these two. Probably the most peril that Xia Li has been in since her affiliation with Tian Sha.
It also completely killed the crowd.
The biggest story out of this was Mei Ying standing up, getting out of that chair finally, staring down Mercedes Martinez and literally throwing her off the ramp. A good bump that Martinez took to for the effect there, as that feud is going to continue to go on. Whoops, just fucked my camera up there.
Yeah.
Next up, got a promo from Ciampa and Thatcher talking about the match, their Texas Tornado match with the Grizzled Young Veterans on NXT. We got Ted DiBiase with a couple security guys bringing out the $1 million title, hoisting it up above the ring. Big pop for Cameron Grimes. He's over, don't you think, Matt?
Yeah, and him losing pretty much killed the crowd for the rest of the night for good.
Oh, I'll tell you what, though, it made sense for him to lose. And I said it on the podcast last week. It's going to be the story of him clawing back to get it. I didn't quite expect it to go the way it did on Tuesday, where
as soon as he started talking, I'm
like, he's
fucking turned on.
Oh, when he was kissing ass, yeah. But I was right, Matt, last week. It's going to make it a bigger babyface story for Cameron Grimes to get. He's gonna eventually get that title back from LA Knight. So I think they made the right move on Sunday. 100%.
Yeah, well, they didn't make the right move to make the crowd happy, but they made the right move for a long-term story.
So. I'll tell you what, though, that was a fucking hell of a match, wasn't it?
Oh, ladder match is my favorite thing on the show.
Yeah, so, it was one of the
I thought it was a really good ladder match.
It was laid out
like that. I heard some people say that it wasn't a good ladder match. I completely disagree. I thought it was really good.
They apparently weren't paying attention because it was one of the better laid out ladder matches. You don't have to have 8 people in a match to make it a good ladder match, and we've hardly had any sort of one-on-one ladder match. And now we've had a couple recently with God damn it. Wasn't it Santos Escobar? When Shawn Michaels came out with the ladder, what was that match? You remember? I'm drawing a blank right now.
Escobar and what's his face from NXT UK, the guy that looks like Finn Balor.
Oh yeah, Jordan Devlin.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, so I mean, HBK's influence kind of bringing back the one-on-one ladder match, and like I said, this was a tremendous match. Maybe one of the better ones on the card. I don't know. That 5-way is probably the best match of the night, but one of the better matches of the year was the 5-way. I think but the ladder match not too far behind. That was just tremendously done. Some great bumps by both men. Man, that neck breaker on the ladder, that was kind of brutal. That hurt both guys. Cameron Grimes taking the big bump in the end that allowed LA Knight time to get up to the ladder and pick up the briefcase. Next up, hey, did you know WWE's going live on tour again?
Nope,
I didn't either.
Maybe they need to tell us another 1,000 times.
Todd Pettingill's trying to sell some merchandise with Hit Row. I thought that was pretty good. Fix my camera one more time. Oh, maybe I'll fix it the other way. I thought the segment with Hit Row was pretty good. Every segment with Todd was pretty good, to be honest with you. We got our women's championship match. Raquel Gonzalez in Bermuda. I thought these ladies put on a hell of a show in the match. But Matt, much like the first match, there was really no doubt who was going to win this one, right?
Yeah, to me, this was never a doubt.
Yeah.
At any point.
No, I think the first time that her reign's going to be in doubt's when Dakota finally turns heel, in my opinion.
Oh, I don't think Dakota Kai's beating her either.
Nope. I don't know. You never know. I mean, Dakota's been doing a hell of a job. They might put it on her, but
I think her first threats will come in the form of either Frankie Monet or Saray.
Yeah, we haven't seen Saray in a while. We got another segment with Todd Pettengill introducing karate fighters. Remember those guys from multiple sponsorships of WWE pay-per-views. And so he goes one-on-one with Dexter Lumis and then mentioned something about girlfriends, and that didn't go well. So
he asked him how the ladies were treating him.
That not the right question, Todd. NXT Great American Bash coming at you July 6th on USA. So that'll be the next NXT special. Fatal 5-way time. Seriously, this was probably one of the better matches that you'll see this year. It was tremendous. I liked how Karrion Kross kind of basically dominated for a while. Then everybody else got involved and just made some magic there in that fatal 5-way. But for Christ's sake, can we just get Adam Cole the old music back?
I enjoyed every part of the match Karrion Kross wasn't involved in. I think
what do you got against Kross?
I think the main event extremely exposed him to how limited he is as a worker beyond a simple one-on-one match. And I think it made him look really fucking bad. I'm over the Karrion Kross reign. I'm over him being in NXT. Take him up to the main roster and let Vince do whatever the fuck he wants with him. I'm fucking done.
Yeah, because main roster, never, it's never about your talent. I mean, that goes back to Hulk Hogan and Ultimate Warrior. So, and even Stone Cold Steve Austin will admit he was never one of the greatest in-ring technicians either. So, and yeah, I mean, Karrion Kross is going against some of the best in the world right in that match, and well, he came out on top, and which was a big surprise because he was the last guy I expected to win, but with a certain guy behind me here, maybe there's some long-term booking here. I don't know, but I just can't expect Kross to be in NXT that long for when Joe gets finally cleared. I don't see it.
Well, who knows if and when Joe's going to be cleared.
Yeah.
And I don't personally believe he's going to be cleared anytime soon,
No.
or he wouldn't have gone back to WWE to begin with.
He wouldn't have signed a new contract because
exactly.
I'm assuming
in my opinion, if Joe was cleared right now, he wouldn't be in NXT.
They basically they got rid of his performer contract and signed him to a on-air talent contract.
Well, we don't know that for sure. We don't know what his NXT contract looks like.
No,
but
I'm assuming that's what it kind of boils down to, though.
But to me, if he was cleared and he could go anywhere, he wouldn't have re-signed with WWE. It just wouldn't have happened.
Yeah.
And honestly, look, he's happy, and WWE is going to pay him well and take care of him, and he's going to be able to wrestle when he gets cleared eventually. Good. I want Joe to be happy, and I want him to be able to finish out his career on his terms. Hopefully he didn't sign like some crazy 5-year deal or something. Hopefully he signed like a 1-year deal or some shit like that. So
I can't see it being a long term.
He can go.
Yeah, I can't see it being long term. So after probably one of the best matches of the year, we end the night on a very ominous subject as William Regal, looking despondent, saying he's been the GM for 7 years and has never seen this kind of madness and thinks it's time for a change. Very ominous.
Enough is enough, and it's time for a change.
I'm not a nugget. I think very ominous, but obviously, well, we've already passed Tuesday, so we're all happy now, aren't we, Matt? Was that not one of the... I
thought Tuesday was one of the best episodes of NXT they've done since they've moved to the USA Network.
Yeah, I mean, Takeover...
I only have one major complaint about it, and we'll get into it when we run down the show.
Takeover was I thought Takeover was really good. Not the best Takeover of the year, but I thought it was
to me really... Takeover was fine.
I thought it was
it wasn't a bad show. But if you hold that NXT Takeover up to the standards that we have held NXT to for the last 7 years, it was one of the most lackluster, underwhelming takeovers they've ever done.
Yeah, I don't know
because Takeover has a bar that's always so fucking high. It's always so high. They just didn't reach that bar. And it was like I said, the show was fine. Like it crushed anything you would normally see on Raw or SmackDown in any given week. But when you're comparing it to the history of NXT Takeover, it's arguably one of the most underwhelming takeovers they've ever done.
I thought it was, I don't know if I agree with that completely.
Can you name a takeover more underwhelming?
I didn't think it was an underwhelming takeover. I thought we ended with one of the best matches of the year. I thought
I completely disagree.
I thought 4 out of the 5 matches were really good. 2 out of the 5 matches were NXT level. The 6-man was maybe a step below, and there wasn't enough drama really in the women's championship, but it was still a really good match. And then there just wasn't. I mean, Xia Li and Mercedes Martinez was more of it. You could have done that on NXT. That was not really a takeover.
No, that absolutely could have been. That could have been an Tuesday NXT match. They might have been better off putting the Grizzled Young Veterans and Champ and Thatcher on Takeover instead.
I see why they didn't
swap in those matches.
I see why they didn't, because they wanted to put.
Well, they wanted a really strong main event for Tuesday's show. I get that. I'm just saying, like when you're trying to do a takeover worthy show, maybe that match would have been more suitable on that show than Xia Li and Mercedes Martinez.
I see why they didn't do it, because I think the next takeover is going to be those 4 guys in the fight pit, because I think it's 1-1 now after this week. Because
I don't know, that kind of felt like a definitive end to me.
Maybe
on Tuesday, it kind of felt like Champ and Thatcher won and they're moving on. I mean, that's how it came off to me at the end of the show.
Because Grizzled Young Veterans knocked them out of the Dusty Cup, and now they've won here, so it's 1-1. I think it may cool off for a little bit. The feud may cool off for a little bit, because we're a ways away from the next takeover, whenever that's going to be. I don't even know. It's probably August sometime.
SummerSlam.
Will it be during SummerSlam, or do they always go on their own now?
From my understanding, as of right now, when this can change, the current plan is to hold Takeover on Sunday, the day after SummerSlam. But right now, it's currently scheduled to be at the Capitol Wrestling Center.
Yeah.
But hopefully between now and then, they can get the fuck out of there and
get
hold
more
it
people
in a place where they actually get paying fans that actually, care to be there for the entire event.
Yeah, CWC is cool. You get about, and with its expansion, you get about 300 people in there. So it's
about 300.
It's a couple hundred less than Full Sail. So, was that not one of the best openings of NXT ever on Tuesday?
Definitely one of the best talking. I think might have been one of the best talking segments NXT's ever done.
Yeah, a very emotional William Regal, real tears in his eyes, talking about how him and Trips have built NXT over the past 10 years from day one. Regal's been there from day one. And so some real emotion from Regal, which was just tremendous to see. I think a lot of us got our wish with how this ended, where he's staying on. I don't think anybody was ready to see Regal go, and obviously everybody in the Capitol Wrestling Center did not want to see him go either. Regal getting ready to say it's time to leave, but then Karrion Kross makes his interruption and makes fun of Regal for crying. So there you go. I think now the tweener is over for Karrion Kross. He is now a full-blown heel, talking down to Regal, talking about how Kross is now in control with his chaos and violence. Then we got some familiar music, and the CWC and internet went completely unglued as Samoa Joe has made his return to the WWE, his first televised appearance since WrestleMania in a raincoat. And man, it was good to see Joe back, wasn't it?
Like I said, I very much enjoyed the opening segment.
Joe said, Regal, you want to speak with me? But Regal said, yeah, we could, do it later. And Joe says, well, this looks like a good time as any. Mentions that Regal offered the general manager job to Joe. Joe says absolutely not. Joe says that in 7 years, Regal has been bringing the best talent in the world, including Joe. And while Joe may have been a pain in his ass, he always respected Regal. And basically said that he will be there as Regal's enforcer. Regal accepts. We get a great stare down between Samoa Joe and Karrion Kross right there. And Regal lays down the law saying that Joe cannot be a competitor and he cannot lay his hand on anyone unless provoked. And Joe gave Kross the best look after that. That was tremendous. And Joe said there's only one question left and gets right into Kross's face and says, what are you still doing in this ring? Fucking loved it, Matt. Fucking loved it. Man, Tuesdays just got a shot in the arm, didn't they?
I would definitely agree.
Imperium taking on Breezango. Very good match between those guys. No surprise, they are quite talented. Breezango gets the win with an inside cradle after about 11 minutes, but after the match with Fandango knocked out, Imperium gangs up on Tyler Breeze and then covers him in the Imperium flag, which then Sean Ross Sapp of Fightful got someone to Photoshop it into the Manscaped flag. Okay. So obviously the feud between those guys is not over quite yet. Will Tyler Breeze return next week, Matt, and say, challenge?
Probably not.
Okay. Kyle O'Reilly and Adam Cole getting into it backstage, and here comes Joe to break up the fight. Cole shoving Joe, and we all got a big grin on our face after that, didn't we, Matt? Didn't take long to get provoked, did it?
Oh boy.
And well, this was probably my favorite part of the night when Joe got pushed and then put the coquina clutch on Cole and then told the security guards when Cole wakes up, tell him I want his decision. It's just going to set the tone that this is going to be a fucking great decision to have Joe as the enforcer, and we're going to have a lot of fun along the way. I just absolutely loved that segment. I'm a big fan of Santos Escobar, but I am on Matt's side on this one. He does not deserve another title shot. Even though
It's done. Win some fucking matches. How hard is that?
We saw a great debut against Kushida in an open challenge. The guy's name just slips my mind right now because, live, got a lot of shit going on. Can't think of everybody that's in wrestling right now. So I apologize to that gentleman. But Trey Baxter, man, a lot of buzz surrounding him. We saw him in Impact on an Impact Plus show, actually, in an X Division 5 or 6 way, as Blake Christian. A huge following on the indies as Blake Christian. I mean, if you paid attention to Twitter at the start of this match, you saw a lot of pro wrestlers get excited to see Trey Baxter make his debut on NXT. And Matt, he did not disappoint, did he?
Not one bit.
God damn, that was so good. Even more curious, as the edict was laid out that the Kyle O'Reilly and Adam Cole pick their opponents for next week before they do their match. Kyle O'Reilly scouting this match and gave an attaboy to Trey Baxter after a great match, and then stood face to face with Kushida and talked about how much he respects him and would like to have a match with him. They shook hands, and that was it. And boy, that'll be a fucking good one next week, won't it, Matt? Holy hell.
Hashtag good shit, pal.
Hold on. Here we go.
It's such good shit.
Goddamn right, Daddy. I'm going to call him Daddy now because he's a daddy.
Wow.
Daddy.
Wow.
It's good shit.
Will you stop?
So let's hope they don't hide Trey Baxter on 205 Live, and let's give the people what they want, as Excalibur would say. I just want to know who the hell Kushida faced now. I can't remember that guy's name. Well, of course they changed names, like they did with Trey Baxter here. But anyways, moving on. Frankie Monet backstage with Presley and talking about there will be an encore performance of her world premiere coming up next week. Talking to Jesse Kamea and Aaliyah, and basically throwing Robert Stone under the bus, which is kind of funny. They were both in Impact at one time in their lives. Actually, I don't know if they were on Impact together, though, come to think of it.
I'm not sure if their paths crossed in Impact.
Yeah, because I think she was in Lucha Underground when he was in Impact. So, basically, to me, it seems like Frankie Monet is going to steal those girls away from Robert Stone, doesn't it look like?
Like, it couldn't hurt for her to have some lackeys.
Mm-hmm.
That's exactly what. No offense.
Ain't no better lackey than Aaliyah, right, Matt?
Yeah, I think her tag team partner has some potential.
Oh,
but
Kamei is awesome.
But
we all know Matt's opinion on Aaliyah. So
she's just not good, dude. I'm not trying to be mean. She's just not good.
And now for yet another great segment in the evening.
Dummy, yeah.
Yeah. The $1 Million Championship presentation. And if you are a fan of Eli Drake, Sean Ricker, Eli Drake, LA Knight, like I am, like Matt is, once LA Knight started getting humble, that it was a big pile of bullshit, wasn't it, Matt?
Yeah, it was kind of obvious from the very beginning. As soon as he stopped the "let me talk to you" thing, and
let me talk to you.
Yeah, he's turning on Ted.
Let me talk to you. Talks about how he idolized Ted when everybody was playing with Hulk and Warrior figures. He was playing with a Ted DiBiase figure, holding that same $1 Million Championship, and shook Ted's hand. Sprinklers went on, or sprinklers. Pyro went off. Let's hope the sprinklers didn't go off, because pyro went off in the ring. And
I will say my first two WWF Hasbro figures were the Bear Hug Hogan and the green suited Ted DiBiase with the $1 Million title.
Nice.
So like the exact same Ted DiBiase figure that LA Knight had. So I found that amusing.
I mean, what kid didn't like watching someone get $100 bill shoved in their mouths? Come on. What kid didn't like that? LA Knight says he's learned so much from Ted in the last 3 weeks, and now he's got everything that he wants. It's time to drop what he doesn't need, and then laid a punch. DiBiase, good sell by DiBiase. He dropped, and then out comes Cameron Grimes making the save.
I'm pretty sure it's the first time DiBiase's taken a bump in like 25 years.
Right?
Which is crazy.
The pop for Cameron Grimes to make the save on DiBiase was tremendous. And like I said, LA Knight needed to win that title on Sunday to set this story up. And look, I got it right.
As long as Grimes eventually wins it, I'm fine with it.
I have zero doubt that he gets. Here's what's going to happen. Let me talk to you. Here's what's going to happen. It's going to be a song and a dance. It's going to be a long grind, but eventually, probably next takeover. Maybe they rush this to the Bash. I don't think they should.
I think it truly depends on how long DiBiase wants to be around for.
Yeah. So they're gonna now it's Grimes and DiBiase. Grimes gets to is now he's gonna have the blessing of his idol Ted DiBiase. They are gonna be on the same page now. Grimes is gonna get the title back from LA Knight. They'll probably retire it then again, because it's not a title that sticks around. So, it's gonna be around until Grimes gets it back. He'll probably give it back to DiBiase. DiBiase rides off into the sunset.
See, I would hate that. I want the title to stick around.
Yeah, but does it need to?
Yes.
Okay. I don't know. It never has. So,
I'm tired of titles showing up just for them to disappear a few months later. Fucking, if you're gonna bring a title back into something, keep it around for a while.
I thought it was a tremendous segment. LA Knight now bona fide heel. We knew it, but he's still my guy.
Dummy. Yeah.
Yeah. Grimes bona fide babyface now, but we knew that anyways. But this basically just put that all in cement. This was the second time I didn't mention the first time it showed this, but we got ourselves a cell phone battery charging. It started at 0% and went to 1. Then we got this actually happened all throughout the night. I think it probably ended on 22%. Very curious, probably leading to a return at the Great American Bash. There are two big. My prediction was Roderick Strong, and there's another. And I did see a lot of people also agreeing with me, thinking it could be Roderick Strong, maybe returning, maybe Marina Shafir on his side, kind of a husband.
I think that's more likely to be the Diamond Mine than
The Diamond Mine's next week.
Charger. Yeah, I know.
Oh, you think? You think Roddy
I think Marina Shafir and Roddy are more likely to be are more likely to have something to do with Diamond Mine than they do with the Charger.
And they feud with the Way. Makes sense,
right? I would be cool with that.
Man, I did not think of. God, I think I thought of it at one time, but just did not. I always just was thinking Diamond Mine would be like these new kids or something. Not Parker, because I don't think he's going to be ready yet.
Yeah, I hear he's a far ways off.
Yeah, he's greener than goo shit. God, you're right, then. That's gotta okay. I bet you it's Tegan Knox then.
Yeah, I think Tegan Knox is the popular theory for the charge. So
I love that Diamond Mine music though, man. It just gets you going.
I think I look that to me that's the group that makes the most sense. I mean, it could even be something to do with Malcolm Bivens. We haven't seen him in a while. Obviously it's not Tessa Blanchard.
No.
Although people want it to be.
It's gonna be Roddy, Marina, and probably two others. Probably maybe Performance Center people ready to step up. And
yeah, I'm not sure who would be Phil. I'm not sure who they would have fill out that group.
But they're gonna. I bet you they feud with. If it's just, it can't be just two. It's got to be at least 3 or 4, I'd assume. But it makes complete sense to feud with the Way at that point, especially husband and wife. Could get a hell of a mixed tag match there, aren't we? More chaos backstage between Dakota Kai, Raquel Gonzalez, Ember Moon, and Shotzi Blackheart, and Regal and Joe. Joe didn't have to put anyone to sleep there, at least. So, but Joe trying to restore order. By the way, we keep talking about the Diamond Mine. They debut next week, so we're gonna get a yet another hot episode of NXT next week here. I'm curious to see.
I really hope they continue to build off the momentum that they got last night, because I thought it was a really good episode. It almost felt like a reboot.
Mm-hmm.
Essentially,
a lot of times the NXT after Takeover is going to be that anyways, but
it felt like a good reboot, not like a bad reboot. You know, so
they didn't lose anybody to the main roster.
Yeah, they've got a really good chance of doing something special in NXT if they focus. So
continuing on with a great show, I thought where normally you may see it as a squash match, I thought Raquel Gonzalez and Dakota Kai against Casey Catanzaro and Caden Carter, very good, entertaining, a very competitive match. They gave them 12 minutes. I think eventually Casey and Caden are going to break through in that tag division because they're a solidified team. Unlike the solidified teams in the main roster's tag division for the women, thanks to all the firings.
I don't think there are any left of that.
Dana Brooke and Mandy and Tamina, the two that are feuding right now.
Yeah, there are no tag teams left. Because you can't tell me Jackson Baszler is still a duo.
I think Asuka and Nikki Cross have promise, but I think Nikki's getting pushed in the singles division. So
yeah, I think they're setting her up for Flair after Flair wins the title this weekend.
Everrise. Poor Everrise. They got their toy house destroyed by Hit Row in the pre-show. The charging graphic ticks up to 21% now. Adam Cole, Kyle O'Reilly is going to happen on the Bash July 6th. Regular one-on-one. He wanted to. Regal wanted to have a unsanctioned match, maybe, or a street fight, something around those. And he said, "You know what? We're just gonna have a
he said we've already done an unsanctioned match.
Yeah,
and it
so
didn't
we're just gonna
solve
do
anything.
Straight up one-on-one. Yep.
It was a very confusing segment.
Yeah, I saw your confusion.
Because people thought he said
pick each
that
other's
Cole
opponents.
and O'Reilly would choose each other's opponents, but instead they had to pick their opponents. What the fuck does that even make any fucking sense?
I thought I caught it all along that he had said they were going to pick their own opponents.
Then, but why? Who's Cole going to choose to fight? Leon Ruff?
Probably.
It's just like that doesn't make any fucking sense. Like you pick your opponent's opponent to soften them up going into the Great American Bash. Like why the fuck you pick who you're gonna fight? It doesn't make any fucking sense.
Io Shirai coming out, Candice LeRae showing up with, and then Indy Hartwell attacking from behind to even up the odds. Zoe Stark. Hey, look, we got another women's tag team in the women's division in NXT. Matt, they already plus another one more than the main roster.
I don't know about that pairing.
You don't like Stark and Io?
It screams thrown together for no reason to me.
That's going to be all of the women's tag division on the main roster. It's going to be thrown together.
This is why they didn't need two sets of women's tag titles.
No.
Like it really wasn't fucking needed.
Yeah. I don't know why they did that. Because it was great to see like them come to NXT and then but they never had an NXT champion that that held those titles and then to come on the main roster. So I don't know. Those titles have been the worst book titles of the year, the women's tag, in terms of storylines, shit, and everything else.
What about the 24/7 title?
No, that's been booked better.
Wow.
Diamond Mine opening next week. Can't wait. Especially after this great show. We lead in next week with a debut or a return or both. I'm excited, and if I get my wish and they feud with the Way, we're gonna get some good shit out of that. Because I tell you what, the younger people of that group, Indy Hartwell and Austin Theory, have both really come around this year into great performers. We all knew Austin Theory eventually would come around, and he's finally starting to do that now, I think, in NXT in terms of wrestling. And now he's being the goofy gimmick, which with Gargano, that works perfectly, especially with the Way, because they're goofy as it is. So Texas Tornado tag match for the main event. Jesus Christ, was this good. Thatcher and Ciampa are going to win the tag titles eventually because they are just that damn good of a team. And I have said it for weeks on this show that I've just thoroughly enjoyed the feud. Matt thinks it's over. I don't. It's 1-1. I think a perfect blow off is the fight pit. I think let's do the fight pit. SummerSlam. Let's cool this off for a bit. Bring it back up. SummerSlam weekend. Let's do the fight pit with these four guys. Especially if it's if we're gonna have it at the CWC. Why not? Be fun. But hell of a main event here, wasn't it, Matt?
Oh yeah, I mean these four guys work really well together. So I mean it was the perfect type of main event to close out the show.
After the match, McKenzie interviews Regal and Joe about
can we talk about these clusterfucks of these segments, by the way?
Yeah, they fucked up a little bit. They aired
first Joe and Regal are walking out of the building. They cut them off, and all of a sudden they're back in the building. And then they leave the building again at the end of the fucking episode. Like, what? Did Joe and Regal go off for a fucking smoke break?
They
what the fuck was happening?
They used Matt Hardy's teleportation.
It was really fucking weird.
They fucked up is what they did. They played the last segment when it was not supposed to be airing. They were supposed to air the segment with Thatcher and Ciampa and MSK eating their popcorn, and instead played the ending segment of the night.
Yeah, that was my prediction for what happened. I
Uh,
was not able to get that confirmed, but I'm pretty sure that's what happened.
But some more good segments there. Joe in the office with Regal and Gargano showing up and being
Stare down
annoying.
with Pete Dunne, man.
But yeah, that stare down with Pete Dunne was
Oh, buddy.
fun. That was good.
Talk about a match I would really love to see.
My God, that was good. That stare down was good. End of the night, Mackenzie Mitchell asking Regal and Joe how they thought the first night went, and Regal says things are going to look a little different around here. And Joe and Regal shook hands. Night one of many. And
is it bad that I was waiting for like Regal's vehicle to blow up or something stupid like that?
Oh, Vince!
Like, I don't know why. I just felt like they were going to do something really stupid to end the show. And I'm so glad they didn't. But when Joe walked away and he got in the vehicle, and I'm like, oh God, what the fuck are they gonna do?
I did not think of that ridiculousness, but I thought somebody was gonna be eavesdropping in the weeds and appear once those SUVs had came out, drove off. I thought someone was there, you know. I thought somebody else was in the neighborhood at the end of the show, because it just felt like something else was happening with that segment, but it didn't. They drove off and that was the end of it. Impact Against All Odds this Saturday. Impact Plus show. We had a good start with Good Brothers, Sami Callihan, Tommy Dreamer. I thought that street fight was highly entertaining. Callahan and Tommy remained on the same page and got the win. Joe Doring beating Kojima. I don't know why that happened, but
fucking vomit now.
They beat the shit out of each other. It was a pretty entertaining match, but yeah, I don't know why they put him over there. I don't know.
If I'm New Japan, I'm like, yeah, you know what? We don't really need to work together anymore.
We'll close that forbidden door.
You fucking putting Joe Boring over our guys. Go fuck off.
Look at Matt using my term.
Go fuck off.
Look at you, Matt, using my terms. I'm a proud man. Joe Boring. Fatal 5-way for the X division. Supposed to be good as usual. Maybe I don't know.
I hated this finish.
Yeah, I don't know.
This finish.
I just did not know how to take Madman Fulton wiping out everybody. I just don't know how to take that. Yeah, I didn't really.
It belittles the X division. It takes a match that has no DQ and to just get thrown out at the end because they couldn't figure out a better finish. It was not good.
I don't know
I don't know what Impact was thinking with that.
Yeah, I don't know
what they were thinking with putting Boring over. I don't know what they were thinking with that finish. Like, it was, they had some questionable choices on that show.
We thought maybe Rich Swann and W. Morrissey would be a squash. Turned out it wasn't. It was actually a pretty good match, I thought, between those guys, but no question the winner was going to be W. Morrissey here. But I thought I was kind of happy it was more of a competitive match than I thought it would be.
They need to get Swann some fucking wins again.
Yeah.
Because they haven't done shit with that man since he dropped the title to Omega.
Should they start a run with him and Willie Mack for the tag titles, or have him put him in the X division?
You can go either way, to be perfectly honest.
And going back to that, I don't know if it was going back to that Fatal 5-way. I think it was Mark Cho that told me this, and he thinks maybe this might set up King of the Mountain again.
I can't remember. Yeah, he told me that too, and I'm just like, why the fuck would they bring that match back? But it's Impact, so I'm not rolling anything out.
No.
God, if they bring back fucking King of the Mountain, I got nothing.
Let's bring back Feast or Fired, man.
No.
I loved Feast or Fired minus the fired part because they always had to gimmick that firing somehow.
Oh,
Like if you fire Christopher Daniels, then Curry Boy comes back or something.
Curry
Jordan
Boy.
Hmm?
Curry Boy.
He's hot.
Curry Man.
Curry Boy. Curry Man. Close enough.
How dare you?
Curry Boy, the son of Curry Man. He's hot. He's spicy. Jordan Grace with Rachel Erlering took on Tennille Dashwood with Caleb with a K. Jordan Grace's downfall continuing. I think heel turn imminent with her as Tennille Dashwood gets the win. Brian Myers giving Sam Beal some advice. And Jake something shows up there to tell Beal don't listen to him. Tag team champions Susan and Kimberly taking on Fire and Flava. No surprise there of the champs retaining. I don't think anybody expected that change. Much like the tag titles, Violent by Design taking on Decay. I don't think much people expected a change there either. So we got a little bit of a lull in the show until the Knockouts Championship between Deonna Purrazzo and Rosemary. I thought that was really good. But again, Matt, I mean, nobody expected a title change here. Who knocks off Purrazzo at this point?
Probably someone who's not there right now.
Has to be.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what, though, Matt, that main event between Kenny Omega and Moose was fucking good, except for the overbooked finish. I get it. Kenny Omega is a chicken shit heel. So
my only preference on that match is I wish they would have filmed it when the fucking stage was up.
Yeah.
Because they filmed it on one of the nights where they would normally have the fans in that section.
Yeah.
So like the layout looked really weird with nobody there.
Yeah, at least they had.
And it was just it was visually distracting.
At least they had
is the best way I can put it.
At least they had some AEW wrestlers there, so you could get some chants going and shit. So that was good.
It was really weird that the quote unquote fans in the venue were against Omega.
Yeah, right.
Like,
against their company
somehow
guy.
in Daly's place, somehow this was a pro Moose crowd.
I liked how they paired D'Amore and Tony Schiavone on commentary as well with Callis. I thought those three did a good job. Tony doing play-by-play. Tony doesn't, he does play-by-play now with Elevation, but you don't get to hear him do the play-by-play much unless you watch Elevation. So it was good to see that. Tremendous match though. Omega and Moose tore it down. I don't know. I don't know if I hate the overbooked finish or if it just makes sense to me, Matt. I don't know. I mean,
breaking news.
Oh, what do you got for me?
AEW is in the process of revealing what looks to be the trios titles.
Oh.
I am sending you the imagery now, brother. This is breaking. This is like minutes ago on the Twitter machine.
You sending me Twitter or Zoom?
I'm sending it to you right on the Twitter machine, baby.
Hold on just a second. I'm gonna pull up the tweet. I'm gonna minimize that. I'm gonna share my screen. Let's share that.
Take a look at this, people.
There you go. They're little eyeballs that I love to use as an emoji, AEW. And yeah.
Take a look at that beauty.
You can see it on my screen, right, Matt? That coming through?
Yeah,
good?
I can see it, brother.
Okay, let's see here.
We got your 500 links to PW Insider.
Yeah, there's your look into my my world of how I set up the show. Sean Ross Sapp, hey, can you give me the news? Thanks.
He's the best. You gotta love SRS.
Then we got this WWE Mark. I've already seen him many times on the
Yes, that guy has no life.
No, everybody makes fun of him. 6-man titles.
There are people joking that it's just a new title for Cody, which is it's just funny to me too. But I'm pretty certain this is the new their new trios title. So.
That's a good photo right there. So there you go.
But it looks really nice.
Well, I mean,
like,
that's
just that blurred image. Like looking at that is a nice looking plated championship. I can't wait to see the full title. So
yeah. There you go.
Maybe they reveal these on Friday. You know what would be really cool? It would be a great way to kick off Rampage, a trios tag title tournament.
Yeah.
And you run the tournament exclusively on Rampage. With maybe the finals on Dynamite or something like that. I don't know. I'm just spitballing here. But I mean, that's a nice looking title, man.
Yeah. That's pretty cool. A little breaking news, kids.
Yeah, it happens. That's why I try to keep an eyeball out on the Twitter machine while we're recording, just in case. You never know if something's gonna break.
I was looking at PW Insider. I'm like, I don't see anything updated yet. But woof.
Get on the ball, Mike.
Oh yeah, I'm sure he is. Young Bucks come out, BTE Trigger Moose to death, and Kenny Omega. They help get Moose up for the One Winged Angel. I loved how Scott D'Amore said bullshit on the air. And then lights went out. Even though we had a match earlier in the evening, Sami Callihan transported to Daly's place in Jacksonville and hit the Bucks and Omega with baseball bats. Don Callis gets the mic and says that you don't touch the boss's family, you're fired. Scott D'Amore then basically argued with Don as they went to the back. Callahan saying this is bullshit as they go off the air. Honestly, Matt, I think this is the beginning of the end of Don Callis on Impact. He is no longer.
Oh, yeah, he's fucked, dude.
Well, no, he's no longer.
Yeah, he's not. He's
real
not
life.
an EVP. Yeah,
no longer real life. He's on air talent. I think he's gonna be AEW full time with Kenny Omega now, and may work behind the scenes with Tony Khan as well. Non kayfabe role. I think this is the beginning of Callis exiting Impact completely. You agree then, huh?
I think he will still be on Impact as a television character.
That's what he's doing right now.
Yeah, but I mean, I don't think he's going to exit Impact as long as Omega's around.
Yeah.
So
no. But once he loses that title, I think he may stay with it, Kenny, but not be on Impact anymore. That's just my gut feeling. My gut feeling is he gets fired from his kayfabe VP role by Scott. I don't know if D'Amore. Well, didn't they say Anthem representatives are coming to Impact this week?
Yeah, which is probably where he's going to get himself fired.
Shut up!
I don't have a "you're fired" button, so we'll just do that. I could replace. I could replace that with "you're fired."
Yeah,
but
I think that would be great.
But nah, we gotta keep Naya on the soundboard.
No, we don't.
Yeah, we do.
No, we don't.
AEW, another Friday show, live from Daly's place on tape, live on tape. Kicking off with Christian Cage and Angelico. Solid match there between those two gentlemen. I'm a fan of both guys there. Christian Cage getting the win there. Don't see enough of Hybrid 2 on Dynamite. They have a lot of people.
I'm totally okay with that.
Oh, come on.
Dude, they're not that good. And every time they're on Dynamite, they fuck up and botch something.
We have a lot of themed Dynamites coming up. Of course, WWE marks had to make fun of it. Oh, they always have to have a theme show. Well, what are you doing on July 7th, dummies? The Great American Bash. Yeah. Okay. Shut up. Fucking marks. July 7th, Road Rager, Miami, Florida. 2 nights of Fyter Fest in Texas, July 14th and 21st. Cedar Park, which is outside of Austin, for night 1 of Fyter Fest. Night 2 is in Garland, which is outside of Dallas. And then July 28th is Fight for the Fallen in Charlotte, North Carolina. I like how Robert's got the North Carolina in on Against All Odds. We hear from Cody Rhodes and Cody Rhodes announcing that debuting will be Brock Anderson. How they put that?
Like, it was great.
A pause.
It was such an amazing troll.
A pause. Oh my God, that got me. It got me. So I think next week it's going to be QT Marshall and Aaron Solo taking on Cody Rhodes and Brock Anderson. Brock Anderson, right?
Oh boy.
QT shows up. He's sick of the second generation nepotism. He's sick of not getting a pyro for his own. So can't wait to whip Cody's ass in front of a full house, and wants to face Cody in a South Beach strap match on July 7th. Then Marshall took a cheap shot on Arn, and Brock tackles Marshall, and there we go. Yeah, that was such a troll, wasn't it? Purposely done too, right, Matt?
A little bit.
Maybe Brock Lesnar's in the Diamond Mind.
Will you stop?
I almost got you and Gorilla in stereo right there.
Most.
Excuse me. Diet Pepsi reaction there. Young Bucks and Brandon Cutler taking on Pac, Penta, and Eddie. As we said last week, Cutler in there to take the pin. And hey, guess what, Matt? Cutler took the pin.
What?
Good match though, with those guys, I thought. But yeah, Cutler there to take the pin. I liked how he was on there with the camera and then got knocked off, and they showed that on BTE.
That was fucking Cutler.
And then Cutler lost the BTE championship this week too.
Cutler is the ultimate jobber.
Lost Marco Stunt beating Brandon Cutler for the BTE title. So now it's back on the Sammy vlog, kind of.
They said to keep it off the Sammy vlog.
Whoops, that didn't work, did it? Give me the views. Always entertaining on the Sammy vlog watching the fans that do the meet and greets asking to get chopped. That just cracks me up.
People are out of their damn minds.
Yeah. Man, if you ain't watching the Sammy vlog, you're missing out. BTE is good, but Sammy vlogs really caught them in terms of entertainment value, haven't they?
I love them both.
Yep.
I think they're honestly perfect.
They are
perfect compliments to one another.
They are, and they intermingle every once in a while, so that's good. After the 6-man match, the Good Brothers came out and started beating up people, and the Elite Hunter Frankie Kazarian shows up. I like the gimmick with Kazarian. It's kind of like a rogue cop gimmick, in my opinion. That he just shows up and attacks the Elite and then leaves. The Pinnacle comes out, talking about their loss and basically talking shit about the Inner Circle. When the Inner Circle shows up and destroys the limo, Matt, you don't leave your vehicles around when you piss off Santana and Ortiz, don't you? You got to learn that, right?
Lesson not learned.
That was a hell of a thing they did with the forklift, though. I thought that was pretty cool, wasn't it?
It was fun.
I loved when Jericho at the end goes, "Better call an Uber." And clearly, we're setting up the rise of Sammy Guevara, feuding specifically with MJF down the line, which I think they will put Sammy over. Don't you think?
I think so.
Though MJF has pretty much not lost many singles matches, so it's hard telling. But yeah, that was a lot of fun with the limousine, especially lifting that shit up. And if you watch the Sammy vlog, you get some behind the scenes of that as well, and reactions from the Inner Circle guys. So definitely check out the Sammy vlog this week for that. Darby Allin and Sting segment. Darby saying he doesn't need a partner. He'll do a handicap match. Sting trying to talk him out of it, but Darby pleading with Sting to stay home. And he says, okay. Do you think it stays as a handicap match, or does somebody else help Darby?
I think this is a perfect opportunity to do something with Lance Archer.
Yeah.
So
okay.
We'll see.
Tremendous video of Evil Uno talking about his friendship with Brody Lee and how it mean to him to win the TNT title. We all knew that Evil Uno was not going to win this match, but that was a damn good match with him and Miro, wasn't it?
I very much enjoyed it.
Man, you don't get to see Uno and Stu too much on Dynamite anymore, but they've been racking up some wins on the other shows. And you don't see Evil Uno in singles competition hardly at all, but they were one of the best tag teams in the Indies before AEW signed them. So a lot of people may not have known that. But man, Uno reminded you that he's damn good in the ring, and that match with Miro was tremendous. We're gonna have a sit-down interview, Jim Ross and Andrade El Idolo next week.
This Friday.
Or this week. Well, this week, yeah, tomorrow. or tomorrow if you're listening to the show on Thursday. Dynamite's got me all fucked up with this Friday shit. Was it first week of July is the first Wednesday back?
As far as I know, yeah, I think so.
We got the Saturday show. What is that? We got tomorrow. We got Friday the 18th, Saturday the 26th, and then do they take a week and a half off until they come back the 7th?
Well, no, they're not taking any weeks off.
Okay. When is
So they might end up having to go another Friday.
The 2nd of July.
Yeah, I would say probably, unfortunately. Yeah, they're not taking a week off.
No, they return to Wednesday on June 30th. So it goes Saturday 26th, Wednesday the 30th.
Oh, okay. Well, there we go then.
According to Google. I don't know where they're pulling it from, but
it'll be good to get them back on Wednesday. I don't like not having AEW on Wednesday nights.
I know, man. It's always good to watch that.
Doesn't feel good, man.
It's always good to watch that and then record. Though it let me take a 3-hour nap before we recorded tonight, so that's good. Kenny Omega coming out, talking about how he overcame the AEW conspiracy of trying to take the belt off of Omega. Jungle Boy comes out. Omega insulting Jungle Boy about how he cannot talk and is not a worthy champion. And Jungle Boy just simply says, "You talk too much." And Kenny tried to punch. Jungle Boy ducks and nails Omega. And try to put on the snare trap before the Bucks make the save. Lance Archer killed a jobber. Nyla Rose and Layla Hirsch. Pretty damn good match between those two. Nyla Rose getting the win, obviously, with probably being the first contender to Britt Baker on her for her first title defense. Really, the interview with Tony Schiavone, there are glimpses of Britt starting to turn babyface. Matt, do you agree?
I mean, they definitely could if they wanted to.
Yeah, and she's popular shit with the crowd. So,
I mean, I think it's best to leave her as a tweener for now. So
much like her man, baby. Dynamite in the 18th, 2 days from now as we record, 1 day from now as you listen to the show. Eddie Kingston, Penta, and Frankie Kazarian will take on Matt Jackson and the Good Brothers. So that's interesting that no Nick in that, but no Phoenix and no Pac, because if you watch BTE, you'll realize that those two guys have been taken out by those guys backstage by the Bucks. Andrade El Idolo talks to Jim Ross. Orange Cassidy takes on Cesar Bonani from the Wingmen. Darby Allin takes on Scorpio and Ethan in the handicap match. MMA rules cage fight between Hager and Wardlow, and your tag match between Cody Rhodes and Brock Anderson and QT Marshall Aaron Solo. Main event time. Cage and Hobbs taking on Hangman Page and 10 from the Dark Order. More cracks in the foundation between Brian Cage and Team Taz. Again, not wanting to use the title to cheat, and leads into the buckshot lariat and getting the win for the good guys. Yeah, so that ended the show. Dark Order comes out and celebrates, and everybody had beers except for Colt Cabana and -1, who drank water. Good to see -1 back on TV, right, Matt?
entertaining kid, man.
Speaking of which, video surfaced of -1 in the ring with Liv Morgan. For 9 years old, that guy's got some skill already, doesn't he?
Yeah, he's going to be real good, man.
SmackDown, we kick off with Jimmy Uso talking about how it was supposed to be a celebration, but then Roman fucked that all up in the rematch. And Jimmy mentioning he's going to do something he won't regret tonight. So very good promo by Jimmy. Again, the best story the WWE's gotten going. When it comes to, if you could, if you could put yourself together a good long-term story and keep building on it, it turns out to be good. Why can't they do any of that shit on Raw, Matt?
I got nothing, man.
My God. I mean, are you tired of the Roman and Uso story right now?
It's kind of getting old. I mean, I'm not saying I'm not enjoying it, but it's kind of like it would be nice to get to the next chapter of said story, and I feel like they might have pushed that a little bit on Friday, but we'll see where they end up. We'll see where they end up going. Yeah, that's not the chapter I want to see, but we're gonna get it anyway.
We'll talk about the evolution of this story with the Usos and Roman Reigns eventually later on. We get Kevin Owens and Big E. Welcome back, Big E. After they fired the guy that he was supposed to feud with, take it on Sami Zayn and Apollo Crews. So yeah. So what are we gonna do? We're just gonna put Big E back into the same type of feud he was in beforehand with before Aleister Black showed up. Oh well, good match though between these guys. Good guys getting the win. After the match, Crews blames that idiot Sami Zayn for the loss, so it's going to be a tag team rematch next week. But instead of Sami Zayn, we'll have the debuting Commander Aziz in the ring with Big E and Kevin Owens. Moving along. We got a segment here with Chad Gable and the Street Profits as that feud continues. We got Liv Morgan, Carmella Part 2. Here comes your 50-50 booking. But in this case, the 50-50 booking was needed. We couldn't have Liv Morgan take another loss, right?
No, and I would like them to not wrestle ever again.
Well, you know it's going to happen.
I'm tired of seeing the same fucking match every week. I'm tired of the fact that we're getting Nakamura versus Baron Corbin number 5 this Friday. I'm fucking done with it. Enough. You have a big enough roster. You don't need to book the same fucking goddamn matches every fucking week.
Yeah. Well,
you wonder why your ratings are in the toilet.
Yeah.
God, it's annoying.
Then you look at Monday Night Raw, and it's even worse on Monday Night Raw, the repeat matches and shit.
So freaking annoying.
Ding dong, hello, Bailey, Seth Rollins. That was pretty entertaining, wasn't it, Matt? I think Bailey and Seth work really well together. And then the doorbell rang again, and I liked how Cesaro posed in front of the door and then beat the hell out of Rollins. It was a fun segment. I enjoyed it. Welcome back, Swiss. I clicked on red. Then he clicked on, what was it, last week? He clicked on
2-hour Uno episode out today.
Yeah, I started it before I fell asleep.
The party.
They are doing again for the second week in a row, they're doing the 50th anniversary deck, but this time no teams. So that makes
I enjoyed the teams.
I do too, but with that deck, the coin, the teams with the 50th anniversary coin is kind of dumb because it
I agree with that, but I actually enjoyed seeing them team up.
I like teams.
They don't do that very often.
I like teams, but the 50th anniversary deck is better off for singles. 2-hour episode. I did not even get through the first match, I don't think. The first match is pretty long. But yeah, last week, what was it? Cesaro clicked on the wrong color, and it was the color that allowed Creed to go out or something like that. Because he hates the Switch controller. And so he hit the wrong button, and it was the color that Creed was on Uno'd on. So it was like I clicked on red all over again. If you watch The Party, you would know what we're talking about. If you don't know what we're talking about, you need to watch The Party, right, Matt?
True.
Got an interview with Rey Mysterio, all mad after Roman beat up his kid. Montez Ford, Chad Gable. I was highly excited for this match, and it was very entertaining up until the DQ finish that WWE loves to do lately. I mean, Jesus Christ, how many DQ finishes have we had? But they have been making Otis look really strong the last couple of weeks, so that's kind of the plus side of things here is that they're making him look tremendous as a heel. But boy, he looks weird without a beard.
Looks like a doofus.
Hey, Nakamura King Corbin part 4. So now we're 2-2. So now we need part 5, huh? Adam Pierce on Twitter saying that he's going to discuss with King Corbin about a King of the Ring tournament. It's coming, Matt. It's coming. And we need to put it on Xavier Woods, don't we?
I mean, he's the one that wants it so bad. I mean, look, it's vintage WWE to bring this tournament back and either A, not use him, or B, let him get to the finals and lose. So, I mean, it's just such a WWE thing to do.
Yep. We got another wrinkle into the Roman Reigns story. Roman Reigns entering Jimmy Uso's locker room, even though he laughed it off that Jimmy said he was not coming to him. And it looks like Jimmy's starting to buy in, doesn't it, Matt?
We'll see.
We'll see. Rey Mysterio calling out Roman Reigns, and that was a pretty good segment with the kendo sticks and Dominic showing up. I thought it was well done. Good camera work. I'm not going to praise Kevin Dunn. I'll praise the cameraman because I did not see the kendo sticks coming. I think probably Dominic fed him to him off camera, but I didn't expect a kendo stick in that moment. I thought it was kind of cool there how they did that, and that's how SmackDown went off the air. And Raw, I mean, it could almost just go off the air for good, right, Matt? The best thing about watching this on DVR, Matt, was I got to fast forward through the Lily recap to start the show.
Lucky you.
Yeah. Nikki Cross, Charlotte Flair, thanks to Rhea Ripley distraction, ended in a count out. So Nikki Cross gets the win there. Eventually, hopefully, Cross just gets a legit win against Charlotte or Rhea or something. I thought about this during Raw, Matt. Does it just seem to you that
dangerous to think during Raw, JB?
I know, but does it just seem to you that they've really taken any interesting aspects out of Rhea Ripley?
Dude, we could have discussed this 2 months ago. Of course they did. She's nothing like the character that we fell in love with in NXT. And honestly, anybody that's seen her for the first time has no reason to invest in her at all, other than the fact that she's wearing the championship. They've done her no favors whatsoever, and it's really fucking sad.
A funny segment with Jeff Hardy and Riddle. Any segment with Riddle's been great lately. Good matchup here, though. John Morrison taking on Jeff Hardy. I like that matchup. Unfortunately, it only went for 3 minutes. With Jeff Hardy taking the L, Cedric Alexander making fun of Jeff Hardy. Jeff Hardy says, "Well, fuck you. If I lose to a chump like you, I'll retire." We all know that ain't happening. So then we get a retirement match that lasted also 3 minutes. So you got 3 hour show, but let's rush Morrison and Hardy, and then let's rush Alexander and Hardy. You know, you've got 3 hour show, but let's just, fucking rush this as fast as we can. Anyways, at least Jeff Hardy's starting to rack up some wins now, which have been much needed for him. Because like I said, you cannot not push him. You cannot not push him once live crowd comes back. He's going to get one of the bigger pops. The debut of Eva Marie. Unlike the majority of the marks out there, both Matt and I are excited for this, but to me, this was poorly executed and went over like a fart in church.
The commentators
not
fucking pretending that they didn't know who Piper Niven was.
Dumb.
Greatly insulted my intelligence.
Dumb. I said that on Twitter too. I'm like,
yeah.
How do you act like you don't know who this is? And on top of that, she's fucking tremendous talent. And for what she did in the ring, the 1 minute match. I mean, I thought Piper looked good. I don't know. I don't know if I should hate it or like it, because I know Eva, I said it, I predicted it. Eva's going to troll us, and she did. So maybe, I don't know. We'll see where it goes, but not a good start.
No, not at all.
And they could have done this to anybody else but Naomi. Why job her out? I guess you got the unexpected, gimmick in that, but I didn't like it.
No, sir. I didn't like it.
No, sir. Next up was the segment we already talked about earlier with Dana Brooke, Mandy Rose, Natalya, and Tamina. Interview with Kevin Patrick and Drew McIntyre. New Day taking on RK Bro. Good fucking match. I mean, this has been about the only bright spot on Monday Night Raw lately. They've delivered on matches. They've delivered on promos. It's been all around tremendous. And they gave them 22 minutes. And we got a hell of a match, didn't we, Matt?
Good shit, man.
Ripley and Asuka for the 80th time, as Matt just remember what Matt just ranted about a minute ago. Ripley beating Asuka clean. Good match, but we've seen it a trillion times. After the match, Charlotte in a nice catsuit attacking Ripley. And ate a boot to the nose that legitimately busted open Charlotte. So that added some fuel to the fire. Alexa Bliss and Nia Jax. Yeah. Next. Nothing. I set off my Alexa over there. MVP continuing to try to grind Kofi into turning on Xavier. Gonna guess this is gonna lead to a title match with Kofi and Lashley. Probably. I thought maybe SummerSlam and Kofi win the title would be a good story, but now that they're basically building SummerSlam out to be this WrestleMania thing, they're probably gonna pay Brock Lesnar enough to get off his farm and give us that dream match. And so
I'm hearing that's not the plan.
okay, what is the plan?
I don't know what the plan is, but I'm hearing that Brock and Lashley, as of last week, was not the plan for SummerSlam.
Well, then listen to my
what
booking.
it is, I don't fucking know.
Listen to my booking and make it Kofi Mania at SummerSlam.
I don't think that's happening either, pal.
Yeah, they'll probably wrestle at Money in the Bank or whatever's in between.
In the break.
What's after Money in the Bank?
SummerSlam.
Oh, that's right, because Money in the Bank's July this year. Ah. Well, I'm so used to Money in the Bank being in June. I forgot what day it was for a minute. I don't care what your piped in cheers mean. We're not going to cheer for Jackson Riker.
They are so in for a rude awakening next month.
He's going to get booed out of the building. Good match between Drew and AJ Styles, but typical DQ booking from the WWE. And then it leads to a six-man tag player with the Viking Raiders coming out as well. In the end, the good guys get the win, and there you go. Another Yeehaw episode of Raw.
Yeah, indeed.
Head into some headlines here. Congrats again to Jon Moxley and Renee Paquette on the birth of their daughter, as announced. It happened yesterday, 15th of June. My Lord, she was getting huge too. So that baby was ready to pop out there. They had like her last Instagram post. Did you see that, Matt?
I don't recall.
Man, it was she did like some she was doing like some kind of dance or something on Instagram, and holy cow, she was huge. I bet she was ready for that baby to come out. Are you still there, Matt?
Yeah.
My computer just wigged out. I don't know what happened. I froze.
That's can you hear me?
Yep, it's still recording, so we'll keep
okay.
going. I think the HD feed kicked out, and then I don't know, Zoom froze for a second, and I don't know.
I mean, your video's fine on my end.
Yeah, it froze for a minute, and then I'm zoomed in, so I think the HD feed on it went out or something. I don't know what the hell just happened, but
I mean, I didn't see any freezing, but
yeah, I closed a tab on one of my browsers, and that froze Zoom. I was like, what the hell? Oh well. We're all good. New Day animated series is now on HBO Max. Laser Wolf is now on HBO Max. Adult Swim series features.
Okay,
Big
that
E.
makes more sense than what you just said.
Yeah, I was reading what Mike Johnson said. So,
oh, Mike, have some pride in your work, sir.
And Big E, also Xavier Woods and Kofi Kingston are going to lend voices to that show as well. WWE Saturday night episodes that were previously on the network from April of 92 to September of 93 are now available on Peacock as they continue to add to that. WWE releases a second greatest tag teams special updated list from 50 to 21. That's currently going on Peacock as well. The next NXT Takeover is, according to Triple H, a work in progress on SummerSlam weekend for Takeover. Looks like the date, as we mentioned earlier in the show,
August 22nd.
Yep. Internally listed August 22nd. Triple H did not confirm the date in his post.
He was too busy being snarky on the call.
I heard about that.
Oh, yeah.
And apparently Mike Johnson wants to start a fight with Braun Strowman. Saying he's standing by his report, even though Braun went on Twitter. WWE brings back producer Sean Davari. He was there at Friday SmackDown tapings, has returned to as a company producer, same role he had before. He was working NWA TV tapings earlier in the week. He had been let go in the onset of all the pandemic cuts. WWE internally is expecting the Allegiant Stadium in Vegas to be about 50 to 60% capacity for SummerSlam. The building holds about 65,000 people. And it'll be set up for about 50 to 60% capacity. If demand increases, they will open up more seats. But I hear demand on some of the shows is not that high, Matt.
Not shocked.
Big news announced today that AEW is going to head to New York for a live edition of Dynamite, Arthur Ashe Stadium, which in New York, which holds about 25,000 people. And somebody made the comment that good luck filling that. Somebody's told that to Cody before, haven't they?
Yeah.
Busted Open tweeted out a clip with Mark Henry, Tony Khan, discussing why he decided to leave WWE and discusses his return to the ring as well. So go check that out on Busted Open Radio, at Busted Open Radio on the Twitter. Go check out that clip. And he also talks about why he left WWE on a recent edition of Oral Sessions with Renee Paquette, which will now be taken over by John Moxley and maybe Eddie Kingston. How entertaining will that be, Matt?
It's going to be something.
Moving on. Mark Henry still in the news, talking about how he's looking to bring Braun Strowman to AEW. He's high on his list. What do you think, Matt?
No comment.
Okay. WWE with some weird trademarks: Ethereal Spirit and E-Spear. Don't know what that is going to be for. I guess we'll find out eventually. Some Impact news. Moose and Kenny Omega. That match was filmed on, taped on June 4th. According to Mike Johnson, the belief is that Moose has come to terms on a new deal, but nothing officially announced yet on that with Impact.
I'm hearing the deals. I'm hearing the deals done.
There is internal talk of that with the no decision at Against All Odds that Ultimate X may be brought back for Slammiversary. That'll be cool. This
Better
week's
Ultimate X than Ken of the Mountain.
right. Oh, what the this week's best or this week's Impact in 60 was Rhino, best of Rhino. Next week's is best of Johnny Swinger.
So what, it's gonna be like 3 minutes long.
It's gonna be all Wrestle House and Swingers Casino.
Oh boy.
Oh yeah. Scott Smoot was let go also during COVID. He was the VP of live event production. Oh, ta-da, he's got his job back, Matt.
Yep.
Pricing for this weekend's Hell in a Cell cameos.
Ridiculous.
$500 for Rey Mysterio, $350 for Sami Zayn and Cesaro, $400 for Bianca Belair, $500 for Kevin Owens, $600 for Alexa Bliss, $450 for McIntyre and Lashley, $350 for Rhea Ripley, $600 for Seth Rollins, $500 Charlotte Flair, $750 for Shawn Michaels, $350 for Nia Jax. And it's like 2 minutes, isn't it?
Yeah, they're other fucking
these are cameos. These aren't
it's just probably even less.
Zoom. Yeah. Wow.
Like, the fact that people pay for this shit blows my fucking mind. Like, I'm so glad you have that type of money to burn in your life.
Right. Fred Rosser, the man formerly known as Darren Young, has officially signed with New Japan Pro Wrestling. Per Mike Johnson, PW Insider, internally, the company is expecting a return to Saudi Arabia this fall. Because you got to get that money, right, Matt?
No, I think they don't really have much of a choice.
Yeah. Josh Alexander is going to make his New Japan Pro Wrestling debut. The X Division champion is debuting this Friday on New Japan Strong, where he'll take on Alex Coughlin. We have some new video of behind the scenes of the new WWE 2K video game. Hopefully they don't fuck it up like the last one.
Oh, it's going to be a clusterfuck.
Well wishes to Don West, the legendary announcer from TNA days, has been diagnosed with brain lymphoma. Hopefully
that fucking sucks.
Yeah, hopefully there's better news down the line for Don West. Bunch of new trademarks for WWE. Looks like probably a lot of people in the Performance Center. JC Jane, Andre Chase, Nikita, Josh Briggs, Julius Creed, Brutus Creed. The Creeds. Ring of Honor returning to Philly for the first time in 2 years. They will be at the 2300 Arena for 2 events. Glory by Honor, Night 1, Friday, August 20th, and Night 2, the 21st, which is that's SummerSlam weekend, isn't it?
I think so, yeah.
Night 1 is headlined by Flip Gordon challenging for the ROH World Championship. Night 2 will feature Roosh and Dragon Lee against Bandito and Ray Horace. And close out some things with some ratings. SmackDown, best viewership since early May. Pulled in 1.853 million viewers on that. So SmackDown on the uptick there. AEW Dynamite continuing to struggle on Friday nights, late Friday nights, though. I mean, that's about a wasteland for television. But it did increase up to 487,000 viewers, up 5% from last week. Raw. Monday Night Raw, 1.74 million viewers, up from 1.64 the week before. But didn't really result in a better product, did it, Matt?
I enjoyed some of Raw, but it wasn't. I mean, look, comparatively to what we've seen this year, it was better than what we've been given as of late.
Yep. NXT, with the possible anticipation of Samoa Joe debuting, it did get an increase up to 695,000 viewers, up from 669. It'll be more curious to see if they increase from that now that everybody knows Joe's back. So it'll be interesting to note. Hell in a Cell this weekend. And typical WWE fashion, we don't have the full card yet unless they only have 6 matches, which is possible. So we have 5 to talk about right now. Alexa Bliss, Shayna Baszler. We all know who's winning that one, right, Matt?
Yeah, Bliss is gonna
win. We already got your prediction for the Raw Women's Championship match, Rhea Ripley, Charlotte Flair. I agree with you as well. I think Charlotte's going to win that match.
Yep.
What do you got in the women's side of things on SmackDown? Bianca Belair and Bayley.
Belair should retain.
Agree. And it's probably pretty obvious that Rey Mysterio is not taking the title off of Roman Reigns, is he?
Not a chance in hell.
No chance? Is that what you got?
Praise God.
Last chance Hell in a Cell match between Bobby Lashley, Drew McIntyre. Lashley's. Well, I don't think there's going to be a title change at all on Sunday, Matt, because I got Lashley here.
Yeah, after he lost on Monday, it kind of gave it away.
I think we're heading towards Lashley and Kofi at some point. So Well, that's going to do it for this edition of Lost in the Midcard. Thank you to SpiderDuck.net for being our host, enabling us to be on iTunes, Spotify, any of your favorite podcasting apps. Just search for Lost in the Midcard. Hit that subscribe button. That way you know every time a new episode comes your way, typically every Thursday. But hitting that subscribe button will let you know if we ever come at you at a special day. We are on the YouTube as well, and the links to that are on our Facebook page, facebook.com/Lost in the Midcard. We're also on the Twitter at LITMC Podcast, and everything for links is on our website here, litmcpodcast.com. Matt is on the Twitter at Raw of Showtime. I'm on the Twitter at JB Huskers. And before we ride off into the sunset, Matt, what are your final thoughts?
Fucking tired.
I hear you. Well, hopefully we get a good Hell in a Cell. We'll talk about it next week. For Matt Black, this is Jeremy Bennett. Thank you for tuning in. We'll catch you later on.